To have everyone together this morning. It's a very special treat to be all together. Special treat to have our musician, Jeanette Alexander, here. Looking healthy. Treatment works. Yay. So that's what I'd like to do right now. I'd like to begin with a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. So I invite you to just relax for a minute as we join together in the truth and understanding the truth that this is a spiritual universe, that is a universe of good, that good is always in expansion, and that this spirit, what we call spirit, is actually all there is. There is spirit and nothing but spirit. Therefore, I understand that I and each and every person is a human being having a spiritual experience. And I rejoice that we all are able to come here together this morning. And I rejoice that in the future, other people will be able to join us on the internet and also experience what we are about to unfold together. Something wonderful, a true celebration of spirit in our lives, of spirit in action. And I know that as we see and hear about the demonstrations of good that are going to be revealed to us today, we are fed, nourished, and encouraged. So I give thanks for our togetherness. I give thanks for our good. I know that it is enough. It is wonderful. And I give thanks, and as I give thanks, I invite you to join with me in recognition of these truths by saying with me, and so it is.
A good friend of mine who plays with Anton Mizrak, her name is Kim, I can't think of her last name. She wrote this song called There Will Be Angels. And I said to her, can I sing that song for you today? And she said yes. There will be angels when you're far from home. There will be angels when you feel alone. And when the hard times bring you down, there will be angels coming all around. There will be angels when the night is long. There will be angels when you feel you can't go on. And if you're lonely and cannot find a friend, there will be angels fly. There will be angels watching over you. There will be angels no matter what you do. And if there are moments you feel down, ask your angels to please come around. There will be angels coming around.
Thank you, Jeanette. When I was listening, I was thinking, you know, I didn't grow up in a traditional church, and so I never expected to have to talk about angels. And then I remembered something. I remembered that with God, all things are possible. And that's a beautiful song and a beautiful sentiment. So, great. And that's, it's a beautiful morning. And my name is Reverend Kate, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone this morning to the Center for Spiritual Living, Carlsbad, where we really do believe and understand that there really is a power for good in the universe, greater than we are, and we can use it. So as we begin, I'd like to invite Linda to come up and help with our candle lighting. So when we light these candles, just remember that we are doing it to remind ourselves of the underlying spirit of life and the divine unity of all. So first, we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. So please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We are points of love within the heart of God. Please affirm with me, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are. Please affirm with me, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful, just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. Please affirm with me, I am beauty. We light a candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. Please affirm with me, I am joy. We light the candle for peace. Today and every day, we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. So please affirm with me, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to just take a moment and recognize your own inner light that is always shining within as we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Linda. So I just have a few announcements today. First, if it's your first time visiting, we want you to feel at home, stay for fellowship, stay for the potluck, and if you could sign our guest book in the lobby, we'll send you our weekly email, which only comes out once except on certain weeks when I put the wrong date in by mistake and then have to send out a correction like this week. Sorry, everyone. The important thing I also want to announce is that every Sunday we offer spiritual mind treatment as our gift to you. So if anyone would like to have a prayer treatment after the service, today I'm here, Reverend Lori is here, Reverend Maureen is here, and Practitioner Robert, Practitioner Larry, we're all going to be available for you after the service. Or if you don't want to do that, just fill out a written request form, and there's a box on the table in the lobby, and you can just put it in there. And the prayer team, and our names are listed on the back of your program, will do prayer treatment for you this week. I also want to let everyone know that next week Dr. Almondra will be speaking. And we will also be back to school with class 3 of mental equivalence. So the class will meet here at 11:30. So if you're in class, open your book and refresh yourself. But today, no class. The other thing is for those of you who come on a regular basis or would like to, in the lobby, we do have a membership and friends update form. And I would really appreciate it if you could fill that out and give it to me this afternoon, this morning. So the next thing I want to do is thank all our behind-the-scenes volunteers who don't get to stand up. So thank you, Odie, for the lovely flowers today. Oh, Odie. Okay. And thank you, Odie, and her soon-to-be service dog, therapy dog, Teddy, for being our greeter today. So I think Teddy's doing well in his classes, right?
Oh,
yeah. We all have to take classes. And then, of course, for treats, I just want to thank everyone for bringing things for our potluck sharing. If you didn't bring anything, don't worry about it. I want to thank Jim for doing the video recording, helping with setup, and also my son Dave, who is not here right now, but I want to thank him for the setup too. So it takes a team, and we're so blessed. Oh, and Melissa, she happened to come early, and she did a lot of the setup too, so many hands makes the work light. Now, if you could look inside your program and find the group reading in blue letters. Please read it aloud with me. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power in all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individual expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. I think we have time for a song.
Yeah.
Yeah? Great.
I have a fun group song for us to do called We Let the Love Wash Over Us. And the words are real easy. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Would you like us to stand up?
Yeah, sure. It's a fun song. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. That's it. We let
Beautiful. Okay, so, is my microphone on? Yes? Yeah. Okay, good. Because I don't want to not be heard when I introduce Reverend Dr. Lori. Wait, because I just want to say, everyone might not know that Lori and I graduated the same year, and maybe she'll talk about it here at the center through our ministerial training by my mom, Dr. Jane, and it's been such a pleasure to watch Lori as she has gone all over the world and kind of spread her wings, and it's been really a joy. So I just want everyone to give you a big round of applause.
Can you hear me, or is it not on? Is it on now?
Yeah, it's on now.
Now. Yeah, I feel a little weepy today, so if I start crying, don't bother. Don't worry. It's amazing how it all comes together. The name of the talk is Ordinary Angels. It's not like it's angels in heaven, angels in the sky. We're talking about ordinary people who give of their unconditional love. And then when we have a service, it's like Maureen, she had done the meditation this morning, and she asked us to think about someone who gave of themselves unconditionally. They were like our angel. And as I sat and thought about someone who gave to me unconditionally, all of a sudden I started crying, and all of a sudden this joy, this inner joy turned to gratitude. And it was like, wow, this is like exactly what I'm talking about today. This gratitude, my cup overflows with gratitude for this one person that gave unconditionally of themselves. And then we have Jeanette here today, who was supposed to be here last week and hurt herself. Thank God she was able to come today. And life is just so perfect, and she had the perfect song for us, and just really appreciate it. And so I decided to name the talk Ordinary Angels because, did you see that movie Ordinary Angels that's out right now with Hilary Swank? And it's about a woman who assists a little girl who she doesn't even know. She's a stranger. She lost her mother. She needed a kidney transplant, and her father was in financial ruin. And she came into their lives, and just the synergy of the unexpected happening, she ended up saving this child's life in a snowstorm. They took a helicopter and took her to the hospital, and she had the transplant. Today she's a healthy girl. And this is a true story. It was called Ordinary Angel. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is the name of the talk, because this is what these people are. They're ordinary angels. Like, you had no idea who these people are far away in India, and you're helping them out. You're taking them out of their suffering. And so you are considered an ordinary angel. And I I'm not sure if anyone knows about the journey of the gratitude well. Does anyone not know it? I think everyone knows it here. I've said it so many times, but it was, no? Not everyone knows that. Okay, so I'll just slide through that very quickly, and that is, that is in 2021, my mother passed away of COVID-19. And here, see, I'm going to cry. And I have no reason to cry, but I'm going to cry again. So I was donating $25 a month to Save a Child. And they were giving food rations to the people in India because they were not allowed to go out and work. And I kept on thinking to myself, I really need to send them more money. And then after my mother passed away in December, I thought, I'm writing a check, I'm giving them a big check in honor of my mother, and I wrote them a letter. And Rick called me up, Rick Carlton, who was the president of Save a Child. He said, Lori, you send us almost enough money for a well in India. I was like, wow, just a couple $100 more. We're going to put that in for you. So they put that money in for me, and they built a well and sent me pictures. And I had, oh my God, it's like I had so much joy when I saw this well. It's like my grief transmuted into light, and I just had this joy flowing from me. And then I was doing the Power of Eights on Zoom during that time, and our friend Susie Sherry that was in the group, and a good friend of Kate Wood, who's here today too, who's also her roommate, she had unexpectedly passed away. And I thought, well, I felt so much joy from my mom's well. I'm going to donate a well in her honor, but I'm going to ask Rick if I can design the well. I want to call it a gratitude well. And in Hindi it says, my cup overflows with gratitude. And so I received that well via email, saw all the pictures, and it brought, oh my God, I was so happy, I was so joyful, I couldn't even help myself, So I went to all my Power of Eight groups, and I had to show them the pictures of the well from Susie, because we all knew Susie. And before I even got off the call, Kate Wood, who's here today, put $1,700 into my bank account for a well for her sister who passed away of cancer. She was like, boom, the engine starter. And so this is kind of what happened. And then it was one person after another donating wells, and we just celebrated our 50th well. And very exciting. And it was just from the synergy of grief that turned into joy. And then, of course, I come here to Carlsbad Centers for Spiritual Living. I realized I have to get the Power of Eight out into the churches. And we were going to collectively, as a group, raise enough money for one well through the Power of Eight. I did four weeks after church. And amazingly enough, we raised enough money for 2 wells. And, and that's a great demonstration. So I'm here today to, is that Miss Morgan? God, I would have been so sad if you didn't show up today. I have so much joy to share with you, Morgan. So anyways, so anyways, we had 2 wells. Oh my God, this little community, because we had Kate here, who has the consciousness of international help, because she's a Rotary. She's traveled all over the world and helped people of need. She's an ordinary angel herself. Because of that consciousness, we were able to bleed that consciousness into CSL Carlsbad. So this is a great demonstration. I'm here today to show you what you have created in the world and what love that you have given to people who have suffered. And that picture there is the last well that I went and saw when I was in India. It was my mother's well. Oh my God, and I wanted a picture with the kids. I never got the picture with the kids. In the last well, I got the picture with the kids. It was such a gift. I was like, Kabir, I don't need to go to my mom's well. I got to see everybody else's well. He said, no. And we went, and it was just an amazing experience. So here we go. This is India right here, and this is, did my pointer, will it work? I know I have a pointer somewhere there. Will it go on the screen? Doesn't matter. It's northeastern part is where Odisha is. It's off the Bengal Bay. And then here's a larger map of it. And then right here, right here is Nagnapur, and this is where all the villages are. And this is where we donate the villages in that area. So it just took me 5 flights to get there. I have to say, you have to really want to go. That's all I have to say. You got to really want to go. Nagbar and Gapur. I'm still trying to say the word. So I find these words, if you say them really quick, then you got it. Nagbar and Gapur. So that's where I went. And India has a caste system, and just recently doing this talk has helped me dig into India, their beliefs, which has been, since the day of Jesus, they've had a caste system, and they haven't changed. And even the villagers, I just don't understand them. And when I start talking about them, you'll understand why I don't understand them, because they have different beliefs than we do. And it's been like that for thousands and hundreds of years. But they have, the Brahmins are at the top. So when you are in the caste system and you're born into the Brahmin caste, you will be a priest no matter what. Like here in the United States, your consciousness takes you to where you belong. You know what I mean? There's me and my sisters. We're all different. We're all over this system here. So then you have the kings and the rulers and the warrior. If you're born into that system, you're a king, a ruler or a warrior. And then you have like the owners, the craftsmen, the skilled workers. Then you have the unskilled workers, the servants, the farm workers. And then under here you have the Dalits. And these are the untouchables. These are the people who are the street sweepers, human animal waste removers, the dead body handlers, and the outcasts. And this is who we are assisting. And we're assisting them to push them forward and to move forward in the world in a greater way. And to somehow they can just move out of where they are, to think a better thought, to have a better life, is what we're doing. Now this is Dr. Jane's well. And we're going to celebrate Dr. Jane's birthday. It's on the 22nd. I have a cake out there for her. And we also have Maureen's birthday. And we also have Ruth Ann's birthday. So today, and anyone else a birthday in April? So we'll be celebrating. Oh, we got 2 more birthdays. Okay, so it's just going to be kind of a birthday Sunday and a celebration of life. So this is Thabir. Now Thabir is the person in Odisha, and he is a minister. But I want to tell you a little bit about Thabir because he was born as an untouchable, a Dalit. Yeah, his mother had 6 children. 2 of them were paralyzed because she didn't have enough vitamins in her system. And then his father had cancer, so he could not support the family. So she had to support the family. But since she was an untouchable, she wasn't allowed to work in society. She had to work for the untouchables. So she received 1 rupee a day. And he would go 3 days without food. Yeah. And so he has lived this life, and he has lifted himself out of that caste system because his mother had a greater vision for him. She said, you will be a blessing for everyone, all of your tribal people. Not only your tribal people, but many people will be blessed by you. So he had that desire, that light to move forward in a greater way. And he went to school when he was little, but he was abused because he was an untouchable and he didn't have paper and pencil. They made him sit outside the classroom. They smacked him or pinched him for not having a paper and pencil. But when you don't have a penny, how can you have a paper and pencil? And he would wait for someone to throw it on the ground or in the trash, go dig it out so he can get back into the classroom. Now, and then when he was in high school, he had to run 8 kilometers or walk or run through the jungle or hide or climb a tree because of the lions and tigers and bears. I mean, that's real in their world. We only see them in the zoo, but that is real in their world. And then in, like a hero, he left his uncomfortable, familiar surroundings. He went to Delhi to go to college. But in order to pay for it, he went there and said, let me wash your 12 bathrooms every day and 7 cars. Every day he woke up at 3:30 in the morning to wash 12 bathrooms and 7 cars. By the time he graduated, he had a degree in commerce. He spoke 3 different languages. That is amazing. He started, give him a big hand. I just love him so much. We all love him over there. And I talked to him probably about 5 times this week because I had to get more information on everything. So he graduated, he worked at a call center, he was making money, but he wasn't happy. No, he knew that he was there to serve. So he saved his money, he went out and traveled and started to serve. He knew he still wasn't happy, that he had to go home. He had to go back to his village. And he went to his village, he became a professional speaker, and he was speaking to the village people on how to get into school or try to get back into school. And if there's a village kid that wants to go to school, he makes sure that kid has a seat. You know, he became an advocate for the outcasts, for the untouchables. If people were using them as slaves, he would call the police, he'd band everyone together and wouldn't allow that to happen. If he realized that they built a cemetery and put a well in that cemetery in honor of his mom and dad, but they needed a road and the government wouldn't do it, he band everyone together to build that road. He is a leader, and he's a mover and a shaker, and he's a lover of people in life, and he is 100% here to serve the people. So during the someone introduced him to Rick Carlton with Save a Child. He said he's going to give you the resources that you need to serve your people. So he went over to the leper colony. Now, do you believe there's really leper colonies? Does that like freak you out? I mean, Ben-Hur, right? Is that what I only knew them from Ben-Hur, and they're like the untouchables. These people are really the outcasts. And so he went to the leper colony, and those are what their feet look like, and those with their hands, and they said, you know, the beer, look at our water. The government gave us a well, and look at the water. It's like brown. They have to go out to get water, and people throw stones at them. They don't want them around. They take them to the temple, and they sit them at the temple, and they beg in order to have food to eat. So he served these people, and he started giving them food rations, and then he told Rick about the water supply. And Rick put, there's 2 leper colonies, he put in electric wells for them. And they don't have to pump. These are the only 2. Yeah, so where they can have clean water. And so, you know, I guess before I went, I was like, I don't know if I can go to the leper colony. I don't know if I can look poverty in the face. I don't know if I can do all this. I mean, I was scared. I was scared, and I don't know why I was scared. I was just scared. But I ended up going, and I realized that the leper colony is called Hansen's disease in the United States, and it's not a virus, it's a bacterial infection. And if it's treated right away, it can be cured, not cured, or I'm not quite sure, but it's not going to be contagious. And you have to spend a prolonged period of time around them in order to get to have leprosy. So anyways, I went, and it was the most joyful experience of my life. And there I am with a group of the lepers. And they were really, really, really sweet, nice people. They stay in an old hospital ground. They have these beds, and the problem is that one of them, the ceiling is so bad that the rain is coming through during the monsoon. So Rick is going to we're going to try to put some funds together and get them a new ceiling. Let's see. And here is the colony, and that guy here, this guy is so darn sweet. I have to show you this. He doesn't have any hands, no fingers. Just, yeah. And so they just go to the temple and sit there and they beg, and that's how they get their food. Yeah, but they're really beautiful people. And this was another one that we went to, and see that lady in the pink dress? She wanted to hold my hand, and she wanted to take a picture with me. And why? She wanted to know that she wasn't untouchable. Oh. Yeah, look how beautiful she is. And she was a young woman. I have no idea how she got leprosy, but it was just a beautiful experience. So here is the beer helping these people out all the time. When they need help, he goes over there and helps them. Okay, here we go. Reverend K. Duvivier. Kendaguda Village. That's how I realized you gotta say it really fast. Kendaguda Village. Go ahead, try to say it. Kendaguda Village.
Kendaguda Village.
Kendaguda Village. And because the beer says it really fast, I kind of understand it. So I go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna Kendaguda Village. Yeah, you know that Kendaguda Village. Can you spell that, ma'am? So that's how we go back and forth. I I was so proud to be in this village. I mean, my heart was just like, wow, I can't believe we did this, and how amazing this is, that our community came together as one to raise enough money for a well. And this is, remember the picture we took of all of us? Up on top is Sandy Sanders' well, Sandy and Jay's well, and down below is all of us characters. So and you sent that to home office, didn't you, to tell them that we have raised enough money for 2 wells. And you should really be proud of it yourself, because you're all ordinary angels, and you changed somebody's life, that's for sure, for the good. And this is, like, I didn't know what to expect, but kind of what happens, they will stand there all day long and waited for my arrival. All day long, because we didn't know when it's not like calling them up, we'll be there in 5 minutes. No, they're standing there waiting for our arrival. And then they put paint on my forehead, and they gave garlands and namaste, a million namastes, and water on my feet. My socks were soaked. And I realized, next time I'm going to wear sandals, because I really want to do the water ceremony. And but all the love that I received, because I was just the representative for the donors, was the love that was for you. It was for you, for what you have done for these people. They're just so grateful. And then the first thing they do is they take us for a walk, and they take us to the gratitude well. And this is the well. You can tell I'm like a freaking giant compared to them. I called myself Godzilla Goddess. And the well's doing good. These wells should last anywhere from 50 to 100 years. And we talked about Dr. Jane, and I talked about gratitude, is that when you have gratitude in your life, more love, more joy continues to shower down into your life. I don't think I needed to teach them about gratitude. They were kind of teaching me about gratitude when I realized. And then this was their water source, their only water source. And this is where the buffaloes roam. And this is where the buffaloes take their bath. And this is where they take their bath. And this is where they wash their clothes, where they wash their babies, where they take the water to cook their food, where they drink that water that's going into their system. They have never, ever, ever seen clean water before in their life. And the people were dying, and they were in despair. I'm sure in their grief, a lot of them were becoming village gypsies, looking for another place to reside because the water was so bad. So when they received this well, which is almost 2 years now, you can imagine how grateful they were, right? They're going to stand out there all day long until the representative comes, because they are just so grateful. And I asked them to give a message to the donor, each well, and your message is, you had saved our lives and brought light into our village. We are very thankful. Wow, right? So, yeah, just know that you are an ordinary angel, and you have really changed these people's lives. You have no idea just a little bit of giving can do for somebody else, to take them out of their suffering and to save generations to come. Oh, let's talk about Dr. Jane's well. Dr. Jane's well, they were ready to party. Let me tell you, all they wanted to do was party. They had the well there, and then they had, on the side, they had a tarp. You go into that tarp, you're not going to get out. And it was Rick came with us. He met us in, he's not here so I can say this. And the first night he was there, he went to go get his cell phone. He was in the hotel room. He tripped over the coffee table and broke his arm. Oh. So he did not go with us on our little tour. And that kind of put us back a little bit. So we were kind of in a rush because we had to get to we had to get to your village, which was far away. And we had to take a motorcycle into the jungle. And we had to get back out before dark because there's lions and tigers and bears in the jungle, and they'll attack us. So we were kind of in a little bit of the bear's like, don't go in it, don't go under there. I said, okay. So this is the well when we first had his ordination. Dr. Jane's well. And then I loved her well. I'm not sure what it was about her well that I loved, the way they, decorated it and everything. And I have to remember, like, they're in their Sunday best. They put flowers all around the well, but there's really a backstory to every well that's more important than what the fluff looks like up front. You know what I mean? And like I said, they wanted to party. I go, okay, Kabir, let me just do one dance with them. So they wanted to connect in whatever way they could. Now they messed me up because they changed the step. I'm trying to figure it out. Not easy. Yeah. So anyways, we did a quick dance and we got out of there. But it was really fun to be there. And I'll tell you the backstory on this well. It's really interesting. And Kabir was saying goodbye to the guys. So Kabir's close with everyone because he's been there. He's been drilling the well. He's been hearing their stories. He's been supporting them in any way that he can support them. And what happened with this well, they've been building a well for 20 years. So they work all day long, and then at night they continue to dig deeper into this well. And then they also store the rainwater in there. And so if the roof has like a cement-type roof, the water would come in and it was clear. But if it had plants on top of that, what happens, insects and bugs and dirt would fall into the well. And the well was getting dirtier and dirtier and muddier. And so this is what happened. There's, when you're pulling up, the bucket from the well, there's this bug in Odisha, India, that crawls up the rope, and it crawls on your arm and it bites you. It's the kiss of death. Your arm will get infected. It will have to be amputated. Usually they have an infection and they have cancer and they die. And if you happen to drink that bug, which a lot of them do, you're going to die instantaneously. So the water was so contaminated that people were dying in this village. And this is a common story. This is not like, this is a common story for them. And so just know that now you're saving, someone's mother, someone's father, you're saving someone's child. I mean, this is very, very serious. And we took a family picture, which is really sweet, with all the people. And this is what they said. They are our God. They answered our prayers. We are grateful. And this is another thing I had to talk to Kabir about, because when we were at another well, they said, oh, they are our God. And I had to say, no, they're conduits. They heard your prayers, and they're a conduit for God. And they for many, many years, they believed that the water is their God. This is what I've just learned. Water is their God, because they're Indians, right? The elements. Water is their God. And if you gave us clean water, you are our God. He says, I've tried to tell them over and over again, and I can't. This is what they believe. And I'm like, you know what? It's not like, the Christians go in there and they try to reform them after they give them food and education. You can't do that to them. This is what they believe. And so you are their God. Every day when they get that water, they pray to you. They pray that you have a long and healthy life. Yeah. So that was Dr. Jane's wow. Oh, we didn't get to say the name of it, and that was a tough one. That's probably why I moved over it so quickly. Parnaguda Village. Parnaguda. Go ahead. Parnaguda Village. Parnaguda Village. Parnaguda Village. And this is Miss Kate, who's here today. She's right here. And this is for her sister, Karen Carlsbad. And look at those children, how cute they are. And let me tell you, that village was adorable. I feel bad that I wasn't there earlier, because we couldn't get there earlier in the daytime so we could take better pictures, but they had, chickens and goats and all kinds of stuff, and they were thriving, and they were happy, and the kids were cute, but it didn't happen like that all of a sudden. I mean, it was a journey for them. So here we are at their well, and they have, you can tell it's just about ready to get dark. And we have, usually there is a crone or an older man or the eldest there, and they're not very old, who's telling us a story. And you can't see, the picture was wider, you would see there's mountains in the back. So they would work a long day, and they would have to go walk over to the mountain, which would be like a 2-mile walk or whatever. And there was a fig tree by the mountain that they would dig for water there. So now they're working all day, and then they're digging at night for a basic need for water. On top of that, they're fighting with the other villages for the water, and they're they're quarreling for the water. And so when they get the water, oh, what they don't know, there's a fig on the tree, and the fig drops into the water, and it's juicy, and it's poisonous. On top of that. So now they're walking home, you got 30 to 50 pounds on your hips, 30 to 50 pounds on your head. It's black outside, it's pitch black, you can't see anything, and then you get sneak attacks from leopards and bears. You cannot see. So this has been a problem that I heard over and over in the villages, and now we're changing it where you buy a well, for $50 more you buy a light for the village. And every village has electrical pole. God, I don't know if that's one right there or not. We're going to hook it onto that, and it will go on and off with the sun. And that will assist them. But even at night, they come into the village to kill a chicken or a goat, and they go outside and they get attacked. So this is another just basic problem they've been dealing with for years and years and years. And see, it just turned dark real quick, and you cannot see. And it is very, very dark there. So you can imagine walking home in the dark and not being able to see and dealing with wild animals. And here are the cute kids. That's the best shot I can give you of those darn little kids that are so cute. Yeah. And here's the village. We're about ready to leave. I think they had a car light shining on us. That's how we got light in that moment. And there's the beer. Just a really cute village. I love the village. And this is your message, my friend. Our donor is our Mother, Father, God, the one who took care of us and saved our village from despair. You saved our children's life. You saved our life. You brought happiness into our village. Thank you, Kate. Let's give her a big hand. See what such a little bit of money can do for someone who's in need. I know. Did you want to say something, or you? Yeah. Okay, yeah. 1, 2. I still don't know how to press the button, right? Come up here, say something.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you. So, it's wonderful what Reverend Lori came through with for all of us. I had no idea. Louder? Okay. So thank you, Lori. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for listening to your direction, listening and acting. And, as she was putting this together, she knew that she was preparing for something. She was busy doing some interesting things because she knew that you were going to be called, but you didn't know what it was.
No.
But she was listening. And it's so amazing because then when it came through so loud and clear. And I had no idea. I mean, sometimes during the day or even at night, I'll think to myself, there is a village across the world they're pumping water right now. And
That's right.
I just think of it was small, but it was big. And I'm so grateful that my sister could be honored in this way because her life was about grace. And this is grace in action. And
That's right.
it's grace. So what I also think is, as I look across the world and I know that there's fresh water for people, I think of the way that we can do this in our own lives every day with the people that we see around us. It doesn't just have to be across the world. We planted some beautiful seeds and we're watering them, and we have that moment where we can just offer just a kindness, just a word, open a door, help a person, just be that light, and we can spread it everywhere.
Yes.
And I knew I was going to be a puddle, so
Thank you. Let's give her a big hand. She has a beautiful consciousness. All right. Our Mother, Father, God, again, their donor is their God, it was a theme. I was like, what is going on here? Oh God, Ubermunda Village! Robert Speaker! Go ahead. Ubermunda. Go ahead. Ubermunda Village. Yeah. So Robert Speaker has donated a well in honor of his mother and father, and actually Melissa has donated a well in honor of her parents, but that is going to be, the NGO just opened and we're going to start pushing the money through and building the well. So you're going to be getting yours soon. we spent some time here. As a matter of fact, I think I had a hat on. We took a motorcycle ride into this village, and there they were, ready to throw their flowers and to honor I guess I would be the donor's representative. Yes. Yeah. And then this was their village. Interesting how they had the tall cement, because they have terrible monsoons there, terrible rains. So they probably were getting rain in their house, and now that keeps the rain away from getting into their homes.
Where do they get the color?
I know, where do they get the color? They love color, don't they? I think that, if you have color, it brings more joy into your life, I think that helps when you're poor and you're struggling to put color on. It just brings you more joy. And here we're talking to them about gratitude. I'm telling them about their donor, and I have videos of the talk that I gave. I can give to you, and they're telling me stories about what they went through, which I will show you. And then there's a picture of Sabir and I guess lighting the incense. That was part of their spiritual practice. And they took me to their water source, and this water source was a walk away. And I actually fell. I had these thick treaded tennis shoes on. They're all barefoot, and I wiped out. I got back up. I didn't hurt myself. It wasn't on rocks. For some reason, I just slipped and fell. And they were fighting with another village that was farther away. They had 100 people that wanted water. To the point where, at one point, they brought spears, and they killed 2 of their villagers. So they were fighting to the death for water. It is, Sabir said whoever lives closer gets the water, but when you need water and you're desperate, you have to do whatever you can. And a lot of times, if they're working day labor all day long, they had their oldest kid, 10-year-old, do the cooking, go get the water, come back, cook the rice. Well, they had a young kid that had slipped and died. So, they had a lot of tragedy, because there was also, the water was contaminated. They had insects and bugs, and they were dying. So building this well was truly a gift to them. And there was I love it when you get the older crone there, they actually are alive, and they're saying, in my lifetime, I never thought that I would see the day where my children would be drinking clean water. Wow. Matter of fact, they've never even seen clean water before. Now I can die in peace, knowing that they are taken care of. That's how beautiful that is, yeah. Oh, I gotta tell you about this. So then we're walking away, and someone said, the kids are behind you. I said, really? I look back, and they're all like, and then I keep walking. And I look back, and they're like, I had to get a picture. So I got a picture with them, and they kept coming in. I just thought it was the cutest darn things. They're happy, and they're healthy. Their life is going to be changed. Generations of their lives are going to be changed because of this. In my lifetime, I never thought I would see clean water, and now I can die and know my children will drink clean water and be healthy. I bless the donor that they may live a long and healthy life. Do you want to say something, Robert?
Can I?
Yes, come on up.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Hello. It's hard to believe how much influence you can have with just a small amount of money that was put out. When we first started doing this, Lori would talk about, some issues with the water. It wasn't clean, it was dirty. But as we peel back the onion, as she goes and visits, there are more stories, backstories, lions, arrows, spears, people dying. It just gets better and better, and I'm just so grateful that this exists for Lori and Tabir. And Tabir is he's amazing.
Angel.
He's a saint.
Yeah, he's a saint.
It's amazing. But in my personally, I think about life, after life. Am I going to go to heaven? Am I going to be reincarnated? And throughout my life, I said, you know what I want to do? I want to be an angel.
You already are.
So, thank you.
Thank you very much. in your audience. I can't wait till hers comes out too. Where that's all. Love that. So I think we're on to Morgan's. Let's see. This is really an interesting one. Oh my God. Dodocott Village. Dodocott Village. Morgan, sit right up there. You got to see this. Dodocott Village. This was really a special village, and they went through a lot of traumas, and I had to unpeel the onion more and more and more. And I knew from what the information I had, like, you know what, there's something behind here. I'm calling the beer. Tell me the story. I want to know the backstory on this, because it was all kind of too fluffy. I knew there was something different. Notice that they had bones in their nose. At first, when I got the picture of this village, I mean, they were kind of different, and I thought, God, they got bones, and this is so weird. But I guess I asked him about this. What they are, they're birds. They didn't kill a bird. They found a bird that's dead, and they put that bone in their nose. It's a symbol of freedom, that there's something in their life that they want to be free from, and this is a representative of that. And now that I know the whole story, I completely understand, and you'll hear it in a second. So let's read what she said. Drink a cup of love and blessings. Give thanks and dream of possibilities. You are so loved. And that was so appropriate for them, Morgan, so appropriate. So thank you for that. And here they are, they met me, and they gave me, no one gave me this crown that was made out of leaves. Oh my God, I have a closer picture of it, and there was a pin that was like a thorn that they put it together with. And they were kind of village gypsies for a long time. They were looking for a village to go into because they kept on finding contaminated water. And here we go. I had two girls there holding my hand. They were not going to let me go. I was their new best friend. Let me tell you, there's so much love, so much gratitude. There's your well.
Did they have a banner?
Oh, yeah. So joyful. That was amazing. This is the family picture that we took with them. They were so joyful. And then they took me to their water source. Their water source was interesting. It was kind of a tough way to get there. And it was contaminated water. And what happened was they were with another village when they were looking for a village. They let them stay with them, and after a month they told them they had to go. So they came here. And then the water was so bad, everyone was dying, that they went back to that village to get water, and they wouldn't give it to them unless the women would prostitute themselves out. I just found that out the other day. And that's terrible, right? That's really bad. So that's kind of what they went through. And then when the trucks came in to drill the well, those guys were like, oh no, you can't drill over there. You got to come over here and drill over there. We're not going to let you go over there. They even tried to burn the truck that was going to... Yeah, they tried to, and then the beer, who was an activist, said, you know what, I'm going to call the police, they're going to testify, and you're going to go to jail. And they let them in. The first time they drilled the well, and I've never heard this before, no water. All night long, staying up, no water. Everyone was crying. The beer texted me, everyone's crying, we didn't get any water. They got Rick Carlton, negotiated a deal, no water, no pay. So they went back the next day. Finally, the possibility opened up for them, and now they have water. So, and you took them out of slavery. This is the I don't know if you can see the little pin here. Yeah. Isn't that cute? Yeah. And we had lunch, and that was a table. They made like Western style table, and they had these big leaves there, and they had buckets of rice. They put it on everybody's plate, and then buckets of this dal that they put on their plates. And and those were the trucks, those were the drilling trucks that we happened to run into. Just wanted to show you a picture of them that they tried to light on fire. And this is a picture of their village. A stranger from faraway land heard our prayers and poured their love upon our village. Isn't that amazing? But I think, all these messages are for everyone in every village. Yeah, they really are. This is, I'm not going to go too deep into this because we're already at time, but Jim and Lynn Chow are also in a Power of Eight. They were too far away for us to go see, but they were also slaves. Not in the same way, they were physical slaves. For 50 years, as the man across the street had water on their land, they made them slaves to work in the crops, to harvest the crops, to do their laundry, to do the cooking for 3 buckets of water. And he was so mentally abusive that they would try to really stretch that water out as long as they could until they had to go back. So they were used as slaves. And they do that a lot to these village people. They take advantage of them at their poor. Oh, I gotta show you Raina. This is Raina. This is Fabir's wife, and she has brain cancer. So Save a Child's been helping them out with that. And these are the people. You are our Savior. You brought us out of slavery and gave us our freedom. We are forever grateful. And that was for their well. Multiplet Village, Ann and Jesse didn't make it, but they were also donors. This is Ann's husband. I'm just going to fly through these. They were waiting for us to greet us, of course. Endless namastes. I asked this lady how old she was. She had no idea. No idea how old she was. Yeah. There was their well. I want to play this for you, though. We went to their water source.
Was it late in the day?
They were telling that we were facing so much of sicknesses.
Oh, all right. And so ever since you've had the clean water, 6 months, has their health changed in any way?
City to the party compare now. You have saved our village because the village population were going down and all the children and everybody were dying because of the clean water. You saved the donor. They saved our village population. Now we are able to drink good water. You are only our father and mother.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. You saved our village, you saved our children. You are our father, mother. Yeah, and they had tomatoes, they were growing plants. This is another thing. Because they're so grateful, more goods coming into their life. That changed their energy. Now we want to give them light. Now we want to give them gardens. So you are the giver of life. You saved our children, you saved our village, you saved our life. So, and this is, I'm going to fly through this, Mary Bridget Catterson. This was, I just have to share this with you. So they see water as their God. So they have a river, and then they have a little pond, and they dig that up, and they did nothing but drink out of that little pond, okay? But that's for celebration, and holy water. It's holy water. They celebrate that for marriages and for funerals and for whatever they need to celebrate the water, they use just that water. But they have a stream that they do their clothes and they do their bathing. Now this is the thing. When someone dies, they don't burn the body. They don't bury the body. They let the body go back to God. And who is God for them? Water. They put the water in the stream, the body in the stream. And you hear about bodies in the Ganga. That's what it, now they understand this whole concept of why are their bodies in the Ganga, because that is their religion. The body will go back to God and disintegrate. So now they're digging their water and they think it's clean because it looks clean, but it's not, and they're all getting sick. But it's contaminated with dead bodies. And so when they get the clean water, and Kabir shows them the difference between the water they're drinking and the water they were drinking, they understand. But that you can't change them. That's what they believe. That's really kind of blew me away. And this is Griminal Village. Gurlamo. Yeah, Gurlamo. I'm just going to fly through this. Me and my sister's doing it as well. That's my sister in 2nd grade. My picture's just as bad. I told her, she laughed. So this is our family shot, and they had a tough, boy, that walk to get to their water source, they showed me their water source, was just contaminated and terrible. I just stood there and cried when they told me this, like, oh, what was life like beforehand? And they were just telling me that they're right by the mountains there. So if a tiger comes in and that's his territory, he's going to claim his territory. And they had children there, and they jump on the children, rip open their chests right in front of them. And I'm just like, couldn't help. I thought to myself, how could I not have donated this well, is what I was thinking. And plus, the walk to the water was so rigorous, they had a lot of injuries. A lot of the children would cook the rice or whatever while they were at work. Look at, she has her head up with no shoes. I'm like this, I have thick tennis shoes, you know what I mean? It was a tough walk there and back. So, anyways, this was this village. The kids were super cute. I bless the village of Criminal Village. May they live a long and prosperous life. May they be safe and secure from wild animals in the jungle and live lives replete with health and prosperity. May their gratitude wells bless them with wellness and vitality, with the knowledge that they are divinely protected, maintained, and sustained in all ways. So, this was your gratitude well. Talk. I thought I would have time. I'm not going to get into it, but I went to my mother's well, the last well I went to. Look at, they have this tradition where they use rice and colors, and they put these beautiful montages together. But it was a party till late at night, and I got the picture with the kids that I've been wanting, and they had 3 little girls. They came out and danced for me, which is kind of funny because my mother had 3 little girls, and she made us dance for our company, and put them in pretty costumes. It was like this, like I really am at my mom's well right now. This is kind of funny. And then we had 3 other little girls that came out and danced for me, and it was just, and they were so healthy. The kids were healthy, and they were happy. What they had to do is they had to dig for water, find the water, put a cover on it, and let it settle for 24 hours so the mud could go down, and then they could drink. That was their way of life. Yeah. So, we can make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. So really, thank you everyone for giving to the wells and just making a difference in somebody's life. Nancy!
Couple questions.
Yes.
Do they speak English?
Well, when I was in that one, at that one well, they said, we need electricity, very loud and clear in English. And I was like, what are they talking about? And then we talked about it. And I was going to buy the light for them. And then the beer's like, don't do it because then they're all going to be calling me for a light. So that's going to be our next thing, to get a light for the villages. And yeah.
Where is their government in all this?
Yes, exactly what they say. 'Cause they're the untouchables. They don't pay taxes, so they want nothing to do with them. You know, we beg to the city, the country, the state. No one will hear us. And it took a stranger from far away that poured their love upon our village. And that's kind of, they want nothing to do with the untouchables or the outcasts. That's just the caste system that they say no longer exists, but it does exist. Yeah. And we have 2 wells coming up. Maddie's well is going to be the first one that's going to be built. And I love it on here. It says, if I could do anything, say a kind word or do a kind deed to help someone on their way, then my living will not be in vain. And that's in honor of her family. And we have Melissa Spiegler's well coming up in honor of her mother and father. I'm sure I'll be back to show that. And then someone started donating, Ellen Cook's donated some money for my birthday. All my friends started donating money for my birthday. And I go, okay, well, I might as well just do a fun match. And I thought I'd get 1 or 2 wells. Well, no, I got 4 wells. Wow. And then my girlfriend's dog was on the well, and I thought, you know what, we're just going to do one of the pets of the donors. So, starts with Happy and this ends with Little Monster. So this is, these 2 right here are Sandy's pets. Mia Moo and Bo Bear. And there's Jazz. Jazzarina, the second pet. That's Nancy's baby. And I kind of claim her too. So, and this is what it would look like, donors of unconditional love.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's been a blessing. There's just been a lot of blessings. I realize it's not me trying to get a well for anybody or trying to sell. I can't sell a well. It's just, it just kind of all happens, you know what I mean? It's just the synergy of love and gratitude and just surrendering to the greater good. And here's Dr. Jane. Can we sing happy birthday?
Sure.
We'll sing happy birthday to Dr. Jane, but it's for everyone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Jane. Happy birthday to you.
And all of our other April birthdays.
And how do you pronounce that then?
Okay, that's the one. Chirkuria village. Chirkuria Buddha. Chirkuria Buddha. Go ahead. Chirkuria Buddha. Chirkuria Buddha. Just say it really fast. Like Chirkuria Buddha.
Lori, how much is it to for a well?
Okay, well, it was 1,700, and then we add, and if you're already donated one, you want to donate another one, it's 1,750 for those donors. But now that, they take no money for admin, that's a weird thing, but now that the beer's wife has cancer, and he needs a little bit of more assistance, we're charging $1,950, which is only $200 more, so we have more, and that's the first-time donors, that's good to the end of the year, and then everything's going to be $1,950. They get a well and they get a light, which they so dearly need. Yeah. Lions and tigers and bears. So at this time we are going to do, I'm sorry, I did go, I'm way over time. I'm sorry. Okay, so right at this time I invite you to take your tithe out so we can bless this beautiful church, Center for Spiritual Living, Carlsbad, knowing that this church gives us that love and that joy and that consciousness of giving back to the world, and knowing that as we do give, we do receive. I know that each and every person here has prosperity in their lives, and they continue, doors of prosperity continues to open as we give to the love of life, the joy of life, and the consciousness of good. And so it is. Amen. Recognizing that we are so blessed. We are so grateful. We have this overflowing joy of gratitude in our lives just for the simple things of water and the abundance of food and happiness and friendship and love. And we just allow this to extend out into the universal good. I'm just grateful for each and every person here who has participated, even participated by coming here and giving your love consciously to the people of India, or giving your gifts and your talents and your joy and just that energy, knowing that we are here just to make somebody's life who is suffering a little bit better. That we can have the consciousness and move them forward a little bit further in the world, that eventually they will have plumbing for hot water, for cold water. They will have the food and the gardens, and they will continue to grow and to expand and to move out of their caste system and to be educated and to have all those things of the Western world that we just kind of take granted for on a daily basis. And how grateful we are that we are that conduit for the good. We are the conduit for God in a greater way. So I bless each and every person here. I bless this food that we are about to eat, knowing that it was made with love and filled with light. And so it is. Amen. And our closing song.
Okay.
just say one quick thing, I didn't mean to pass it
Oh,
over.
no, I was gonna say, okay, I'll say it to everybody, briefly. Years and years ago, I read a book by Philippa Gregory, and, at the end of the book, she talked about the foundation she had started of building wells. And at the time, I thought, oh, wow, that would be so wonderful to build a well for a village that needed it, because she went into the contaminated water and the sickness. And I said, oh, I would love to do that. And at the time, I didn't have my own source of income. And then when I did, this beautiful lady came into my life, and I said, thank you, God. Now I can do it. I'm so thankful.
Thank you, everyone.